The Trump administration dropping declassified records. According to the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, she has uncovered a coordinated effort to impeach President Trump during his first term. You may not be surprised, but these are major findings that she is putting out. Gabbard says deep state actors within the intelligence community concocted a false narrative that was used by Congress to usurp the will of the American people and impeach the duly elected president of the United States. It's so bad when you see it there in black and white. She says the inspector general failed to uphold his responsibility to the American people, putting political motivations over the truth. So what happens next? Lying to the American people, a fake impeachment? I'm pleased to bring in Professor Emeritus Harvard Law School Alan Dershowitz. Professor Dershowitz, it's a pleasure to have you. We know President Trump has commented today, in fact, just hours ago, on something you proposed, that the action, the accountability is because of these specific records. Walk us through the will of the American people, what we read here, black and white, pretty plain and simple now.
If this were a criminal case, I would be in court today seeking to overturn the conviction or dismiss the indictment because government officials willfully and deliberately withheld exculpatory evidence. Had they had this evidence, I'm sure there are many Democrats who would never have voted to impeach. So the question is, this is not a criminal prosecution, it's impeachment. It's a constitutional procedure. And what's the remedy for it? And the answer is, no one knows. No one knows. It's never happened before. We've never had a situation where a president is impeached based on withheld information which, if it was there, would not have resulted in the impeachment. So we have to consider all the options. One of the options is to go to Congress and to convene a committee of Congress asking them to rescind the 2019-2020 impeachment provisions because they were based on unconstitutional information. The other possibility, which is obviously a stretch, would be to go to the Chief Justice who presided over the quasi-judicial proceeding. I know, I was there. I argued in front of the Chief Justice. Had I had this information, obviously I would have made an even stronger argument. Now, we prevailed in the Senate, but we didn't prevail in the House. And so I think there's a strong argument for getting the House to undo its unconstitutional action.
Wow, fascinating. President Trump, fan of this idea, as I mentioned, he put out on Truth Social. Alan, one of the greats, should do it. There's a lot of things.
He's
when you talk about this is never.
Oh, thank you.
You talk about this has never happened before. So many things in the past few years, Professor Dershowitz, that we know now, it never happened before. But these are historic times. I just want to get into when she says deep state actors. You know, we're talking about what was able to happen back then. And I guess the big question Americans are looking at all of this, and yes, we want accountability. Yes, we want the truth, and Americans deserve it. But how do you make sure it never happens again? I mean, you go to Congress or you go to the Chief Justice. I mean, corruption's corruption. It's rampant, you know, in D.C. I mean, what exactly is the fallout or something if there's actually not real accountability?
Well, one of the things we have to do is to hold accountable the people who failed to produce the evidence. And I think there is some effort now to hold these people accountable. There's been some talk about further investigation, possible criminal prosecution. If it was a deliberate withholding of evidence, it's an obstruction of justice. So I think the best way to prevent it from happening is to use deterrence, and that is go after the people who did it this time, make them pay a very heavy price, send a message to the people who might do it next time, saying this is not cost-free. The other possibility, of course, is to try to go to Congress and try to get a declaration from Congress rescinding the original impeachment. Again, never done, but this is a good case for it.
We're almost out of time, but you know, if that's going to be done, obviously before the midterms would be better, as the Republicans have the House control and then the Senate. Are you worried about this happening again if there is no accountability here? Because they pulled it off. Now you know the extent of what the Democrats and the deep state are not only willing to do, Professor, but capable of. Final thoughts.
They will do it. If the Democrats control Congress, they will impeach the president again. They're also trying to invoke the 25th Amendment, which is so absurd. 25th Amendment was intended to go after people remove presidents who have had strokes or who are physically unable, but they're using it politically. So the Democrats will use
Yes.
anything available to them, whether it's a false impeachment or false 25th. And that has to stop. And the ultimate judge of all
Yeah,
this
definitely.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.